while I was doing more quote unquote research, or just trying to remember some old facts, I remember hearing about how Pokemon Emerald, Ruby and Sapphire was supposed to be, or the plan was they wanted it to become a reboot of the old series, but it would have been tough to do, especially for the fact that the DS couldn't really port the Game Boy games, so they kind of scrapped that idea and left it up to Gen 5, where they were able to do it. I mean, they were later on able to do or add in Pokemon from Gen 1 with Fire Red and Leaf Green, but that was like way after. So with so one thing I didn't know about, they didn't want us, or it's not that they didn't want to. It's not something that they didn't want to. It was just they were sort of out of options. Was they wanted to stop doing, or they wanted to stop naming the Pokemon games out of like gems and stuff like that. But like I said, it was literally like 4 months before the game was about to be released, so they had to approve of it. So with Ruby and Sapphire, same thing with Emerald. There was a specific type of gem. I try to remember the name of it. Well, with Ruby, there wasn't really any different. What do you call that? Okay, so I remember now. It was supposed to be. Or the gem's name was called a Corundum. So a lot of gems, or under the name of Corundum, have different types of colors, but they were just called sapphires or just Corundum specifically. But with Ruby, the gem, I guess it was sort of different from the rest of them, so it just stayed Ruby. Sapphire, same thing. I mean, not Sapphire, but the other two, Ruby and Emerald, Sapphire and Emerald, they don't really have a specific name, so they just stuck with it. But the thing was, with Ruby, it was more of a rare gem to get, so they called it Ruby. Same thing with Emerald, but it wasn't really known as much, so it was very, very rare to get. But then again, that's where they came up with the name Emerald. So pretty much all that was for supposedly the reboot or the reborn of the game Origins or the game series. But again, it was all scrapped up. Also, the reason why is because most of the game has like new Pokemon. About 60 or 70% of it has new Pokemon in it. But like later on, I don't remember the specific percentage, but there is a small percentage of the older gen of Pokemon that shows up in here. But they don't really show up until like after the third gym battle, or after you win your third gym. But yeah, it's weird to think that they sort of want to reboot the whole thing. But I could see why. Just so for people who haven't played Pokemon, Red, Green or Blue, sort of with Yellow too, but I know that they wanted to get new people into the series, so I guess their only way was to create a reboot for it. But things didn't turn out so well, so yeah. And also throughout the whole progress of this game, they Junichi, I think it was Junichi, or fuck, Masahiro, not Masahiro, sorry, fuck. Either it was Junichi Masuda or Kensugi Mori. I forget which one it was specifically, but one of the two wanted to get rid of, or I think they did get rid of some things for some Pokemon, because I guess it didn't seem like it fit well with the specific one. It's not really known which one per se, but he wanted to get rid of a Pokemon that had a tail, but one of the dev teams, one of the dev teams kind of interrupted and argued with him, because they've already gave that Pokemon like a moveset like Iron Tail or Tail Whip. It's not known for sure which one specifically, but some people speculate that Aggron and its middle evolution could have, or could look, sort of look like, they sort of look like they'd be fine without a tail specifically. That's their guess, especially for the fact that Aron does learn Iron Tail. So it's interesting to see. It's interesting to hear how some Pokemon had a body part but was removed, or didn't have a body part and then was later on added onto. Like specifically, there was another one where they took away the horns for one Pokemon. Again, nobody knows which one is which one it was. But one Pokemon was gonna have their horns removed, or they did have their horns removed, but are able to learn Horn Drill or Horn Attack. Nobody knows which one it is specifically. The bird Pokemon sort of count, or in Japan it sort of makes sense that they could learn Horn Drill because they have peck with their beaks and stuff like that, but nobody knows for sure. But yeah, like it'd be weird to think of Pokemon now these days who could have one specific move, but then I should have gone to the Pokemon Center actually. It'd be cool. It'd be interesting to see which Pokemon would look fine if they didn't have one sort of part on their body. Like, I don't know why. I think Charizard would be sort of fine without a tail, but then not really. It would just look kind of stupid. I guess you could say, like with Gardevoir's first two evolutions, they could have the movesets with Horn Drill and Horn Attack, because whatever the thing we call on their heads could be called a horn, I guess. Not really. It could just be like a weird flower piece on their head. But who knows? Like, it'd be just weird to think if I guess Azumarill didn't have its tail. Like, I mean, it's sure fine. It'd be like not like the springy tail, I guess you could say. It would probably just have like the normal bunny tail, but still be like a water type Pokemon. Or with I guess you could say, you could think maybe with Abra's first evolution, you could probably think it had like a horn just for the way it looks. I don't know why. to me, I think with its shoulders being sort of spiky and shit, I could probably see it having like a evolution with a horn and stuff. I don't know. I'm just making shit up as I go. But yeah. Oh right, this place. It might take me a while. I mean, it's definitely gonna take me a while. Like, I kind of prefer being able just to talk about almost anything that I can think of while playing Pokemon, because sometimes I might not remember, or not remember per se, but like there might be something that I totally forgot and would like to bring it up, like with Pokemon Garden. I totally forgot about it, but then later on, I forget what brought it up. I just think it was probably like the game being preserved sort of popped up in my mind that made me think of Pokemon Garden, because who knows like what other games we don't know that would have been, not would have been, but was region locked that we won't be able to play because maybe we don't have a specific type of ooh, a great ball. We probably don't have like a specific type of device, or we don't have like the console, or how do you say? Like either console, website, or data information about any of it. Because I know for a fact that there is like a Pokemon popcorn maker in Japan. I think it's a Pokemon, or I think it's a Sonic one. They have a machine that makes the popcorn, but you can also play like a little mini game while you're at it, while you're waiting for it. Like it does have, I think you're able to interact or play a bit of a mini game with Sonic and Tails, where you're making the popcorn, but then you also have to help them out with trying to get away from Eggman, because he's trying to stop you from making I think stop you from making the popcorn, or just trying to ruin it for you. And once you get past it, I think first it's Sonic, and then the next one is Tails with, I don't know, probably the butter, I guess. And then I think there is a part where if you can't make the game, or I think if the quote unquote game crashes out or something, like it has like a little animation of telling the person like, hey, something's wrong with this, go get a manager or an employee or something to get it fixed. And some people who have actually gotten to the place have talked about how the popcorn isn't really good. Like sometimes it tastes a little bland, or tastes a bit burnt. And I think some have said that the butter sorta helps. Not really, I don't know, but yeah, it kind of sucks that some games that we won't be able to play are at another country that you have to be able to play over there. Like I know with there is a Mario Kart, like a really cool looking version of Mario Kart for the arcades over there in Japan, where you actually get to drive around, and like I guess you could say like with I think it was a Need for Speed, where you actually get, I think it was Need for Speed, I can't remember, where you actually get to drive and stuff like that. But it's more. I want to say interactive, I guess. I could be wrong, but it's like where you could feel the movement or the shakes and stuff like that from the Mario Kart game. What else? There is a not Pokemon, Sonic Olympics game. Where each station in there, I think there's 8. Each station has a specific character that you get to pick. Like you can't really have like a character selecting two little stations for the arcade. You actually have to walk up to one specific that you want to get. Like if you want to go to one that has Sonic, the other one that has Tails, Amy, Knuckles, Shadow, and all that stuff. And it has a treadmill where you actually can run because it's an Olympics, so you're gonna have to run and stuff like that. And I think if you jump, it actually has a character jump when you do the what do you call it? Whatever the little barricades that block your way while you're running. I don't know the names of it. I think I tried it once when I used to play soccer. But yeah, it's there's another one. I don't remember the name. There is an arcade machine in Pokemon in Japan, where it's only again Japan exclusive. But let me see. Fucking up. Finally. There we go. Sega Sonic the Hedgehog. Where it's with Mighty and shit, I already forgot the other guy's name. Where it's with Mighty and Ray the squirrel. And the only thing is, it doesn't really have. I think it does. No, it only has like 2 buttons, and instead of like an arcade stick, it has like a ball that you roll or move around. But that's it. But yeah, you're pretty much. I guess you could say it's like a 3D. No, you fucker. It's a 3D side-scrolling game.
Sega Sonic the Hedgehog was released in 1993, and though it could be found outside of Japan, it had an extremely limited run, to the point that those who frequented arcades at the time weren't even aware the machine existed, nor that it was ever released within their country.
Which has voice acting from the people who did some people that did that did the voices of some characters from Dragon Ball Z, or just Dragon Ball specifically.
Sega Sonic was also the first game in the Sonic universe to give the characters voices. With Sonic's voice being supplied by famed Japanese voiceover artist Takeshi Kusao, best known for his work as Trunks from the Dragon Ball Z series, and Yusuke Numata portraying Mighty the Armadillo, also known for his work as a wide variety of characters from Dragon Ball as well. Rei was voiced by Hinako Kanemaru, a relatively unknown voice actress, otherwise known for her role as Yai from the Mega Man NT Warrior anime series, while Robotnik's voice was supplied by Masaharu Sato, who has worked on many shows, though again, probably best known as Master Roshi from Dragon Ball.
But yeah, like I said, that how the hell can you bring that type of game over here to the US, or let alone on an arcade, on the console? Because like I said, like it only has 2 buttons to jump and I think attack. or I can't remember what. But yeah, like how can you do that on a control? I'm sure you could probably do that with mouse and keyboard, but I'm not really sure. And I know that some people have been able to do that or bring the game into the Steam Deck. I forget who or how they did it per se, but they were able to use the motion sensor or the touch screen, not the touch screen, the touchpad for the Steam Deck to be able to like move the characters around. So there is a way, but that's probably the only way that they're able to play that game. It's always weird to see how people could come up with ways to play games with different I guess you could say tools or toys. Like I know a guy was able to fucking play Elden Ring with the fucking Hasbro's toy controller. I know it's like a running meme where some people have tried to see like what can you play the first Doom game on. Like somebody played it on a calculator, I think it was. What was the other one? That was very fucking absurd. I mean, ew. What was it? I think a thermometer or a pregnancy test or something that like a very small that somebody was able to play it on. Like how the fuck can you how the fuck did you think with that or come up with that kind of idea to play it? Because I know now that some fridges are becoming smart, we actually have like a screen and such. Some people are able to play games on it or like voice chat or something. Like how and why? Mostly why, but how? Like even I'm not that smart to do something like that. Boom. But yeah, like I'm sure people are able to think of some ways to play it. I know somebody was able to play Elden Ring with the fucking Dance Revolution pad. I know somebody was able to play with another one, but I can't really say specifically on YouTube, but it was a toy and that's all I could say. But yeah, people are weird but also very smart, but mostly weird.